So, you want to know how to work Bitcoin. Most people think Bitcoin mining needs advanced level technology to pull off, but really, anyone can do it with a basic understanding of the computer you're watching this on. In this video, I will explain what Bitcoin mining is, and then how this translates to market to form actual money. This involves the different types of mining, how these even work, what Bitcoin actually is, how it is converted to a market value, and why its price is constantly changing. Firstly, what is Bitcoin? Bitcoin is essentially digital money that allows any two people in the world to trade it without bank or government involvement. And why is this important? Decentralization helps in removing the control of a few individuals in the same way that the government can continually print money, which people then trade for goods or services. As such, there is a Bitcoin cap at 21 million Bitcoins, and each transaction is mapped on the blockchain. This is a digital receipt, so to speak, that records all transactions. Given that Bitcoin is digital, this prevents people attempting to reuse the same Bitcoin in exchanges. The main takeaway from all of this being that Bitcoin is not regulated by banks or governments, and this gives its users shared power and control to freely exchange it anywhere in the world. But this begs the question, how can you get Bitcoin? This is where Bitcoin mining comes in. Bitcoin mining is the process by which transactions are officially entered onto the blockchain. It is also the way new Bitcoins are launched in circulation. Mining is conducted by miners using hardware and software to generate a cryptographic number that is equal to or less than a number set by the Bitcoin's network's difficulty algorithm. The first miner to find the solution to the problem receives Bitcoins and as a reward, and the process begins again. So, how do you mine, and more importantly, what are the types of Bitcoin mining? We can split up mining into main categories of GPU, CPU, ASIC, and mining pools. Let's split these up even further by starting with GPU, CPU, and ASIC. These are each hardware units capable of calculating the difficult mathematical problems required to acquire Bitcoins. We can rank these in terms of power from lowest to highest as CPU, GPU, and then ASIC. This power rating can be set as a hash rate, which is the measure of how many calculations per second a network can perform. In essence, a high hash rate equals more Bitcoin. In order to mine, a miner, or more precisely the mining computer, must solve a complex mathematical problem requiring significant computational power. So, decide on software compatible with your hardware of choosing. Of course, in general, the higher hash rate, the more expensive. Hence, ASIC miners usually rely on larger scale operations. Once this has been established, you need to consider two very important things: heat and energy. Operational costs to compute these mathematical formulas comes at a price, which in the case of these miners is a loud heater that uses up way too much of your electric bill. But with a combination of heat and energy comes the possibility of accidents and injuries that can affect you and your day-to-day life. This can lead to mountains of paperwork, bills, and difficulty scheduling appointments that take up way too much time. But that's where Morgan & Morgan come in. As America's largest injury law firm with over 1,000 attorneys operating in all 50 states, they don't settle for lowball offers. If you've been seriously injured, Morgan & Morgan will fight to get you the best results if you become their client. In fact, they even settled a $26 million settlement win in Philadelphia, 40 times the highest insurance offer. Plus, the fee is free unless you win. If you ever got seriously injured, your case could be worth millions and you're only a few clicks away from potentially changing your life. You can start your claim now with Morgan & Morgan at www.forthepeople.com/symbol, and you can check the link in the description below. But now, let's get back to the video. So, how do you solve the high heat and energy? This means setting up cooling systems is needed very heavily. For GPU and CPU miners, fans usually do wonders. ASIC miners have their own built-in fans, but some of the pros have liquid coolants. Energy costs are also heavy and take away from a vast chunk of your earning potential. Once you have the hardware set up, connect up a Bitcoin wallet, which is just like a normal wallet except you put it on your device and let the Bitcoins roll in. This is one way of mining Bitcoin, and based on processing power, the amount of Bitcoin you earn daily can vary. But to boost chances of earning Bitcoin, this is where mining pools come in. A mining pool is a group of cryptocurrency miners who connect their mining machines over a network to boost their chances of earning the reward for opening a new block. Individually, participants in a mining pool contribute their processing power towards the efforts of finding a block. If the pool is successful in these efforts, they receive a reward, typically in the form of the associated cryptocurrency. Rewards are usually divided between the individuals who contributed according to the proportion of each person's processing power or work relative to the whole group. And while it seems as though Bitcoin mining is just producing money from thin air, Bitcoin needs miners. So in reality, miners are essentially getting paid for their work. As auditors, they are conducting the first verification of a Bitcoin transaction, opening a new block and being rewarded for their work. At this point, you have a certain amount of Bitcoin sitting in this digital wallet of yours. This is turned into money by using centralized exchange systems such as Coinbase, except with each Bitcoin, the prices vary by the hour. So, why does Bitcoin's price change? And more importantly, why does it change so quickly? The whole point of Bitcoin is that there is a maximum amount of 21 million that will ever be accessible. This makes it a deflationary asset, and as new miners are constantly entering the market, this can cause rapid changes in price. Of course, combined with hype from the media, which can include high-profile CEOs, presidents, as well as politics and economics of each country and region. Ultimately, as we tend to the Bitcoin threshold, where the last Bitcoin mined is expected to be in 2040, volatility should decrease. However, until then, Bitcoin and other cryptos remain very difficult to predict.